Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Becca, and I just wanted to come on before the podcast because I wanted to say something really quick. In this podcast, we answer a question, and I am in a question. I am referred to somebody's spirit animal, and you'll hear it, and I feel uncomfortable in the podcast, and I just wanted to come on and say that me and Ryan both would appreciate maybe not using the term spirit animal for a variety of reasons, but one of them mainly being that I am white as mashed potatoes with pepper because I have freckles, and spirit animal is very clearly a indigenous term, so that's a big one. But also, I would prefer like a peas in the pod sort of situation. Like we're two peas in a pod. Spirit animal seems like an uplifting term, like where you're praising somebody, and I like to be part of the community, and I think that I and I know Ryan does as well, and it just makes it more friend, and we know that the question is completely like, we know that people are we love you guys, and we know that you love us, and it's all from an extremely good place. But we just wanted to come on and say that, and in the future, if it does say spirit animal or probably anything along those lines, we will probably skip that in the question. So just so you know. Alrighty. So Ryan's calling me so that we can do the podcast. Anyway, enjoy the podcast. And I hope you guys have a fabulous fucking day. Okay, bye. Pew. Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
We're live.
Live.
Live. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Becca.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Not bad at all.
Do you know what I love is that we actually don't ask how we're doing before we start the podcast, so it's like genuine,
No, it's yeah. I basically answered like I do with all my customers this weekend. Not too bad.
Not too bad. How did your sale go?
It was good. I expected more, but I probably shouldn't have, because last year the weather was absolutely perfect, and we didn't have a show the previous year. So expecting sales to match 2021 is probably not realistic. I think
what were
I had
sales
a killer
in
year last
2021?
year. We talked about it on here. I want to say 4,000, but I think it was more.
Oh, yes. I remember. No, it was 4,000 because it was on my birthday. I remember that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was on my birthday, and you called me and was like, and I was like in and out of reception driving in the middle of nowhere, and you were like, I made $4,000, and I was like, what? Are you celebrating? And you're like, yeah, we had tacos.
Yeah, it was basically 4,000 last year. And you know what? We had tacos after the show this year too.
As you should.
Yeah, so it was cuz it was funny. We went to the show, and then after went to the same restaurant. We went to the same like white boy taco place in Newport, and then we saw last year we saw the Derby run, but I think they started it later this year than they did last year.
Could you please explain what the Derby run is to everybody that's not from Kentucky?
The Kentucky Derby, which is the most popular horse race in America.
So
it happens the first Saturday of every May.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that it was I didn't realize that this was.
It's the first. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's the first Saturday of every May.
So you watched it on the television?
Yeah, but we got back home and watched it, or I got back home and watched it because it didn't
Okay.
start till almost 7. I think normally post is about 6:20.
Who won?
Rich Strike, which it was an 80 to 1 shot. It was a very long shot horse. So that means the odds of them winning, they would win 1 out of 80 races.
No shit.
And that paid out a lot.
Really?
Yes.
I don't really understand horse betting. The only
The favorite was 5 to 1.
Okay.
So if you put $2 to win on a 5 to 1 horse, you would win 2 times 5. So you'd win $10.
But if you put $2 on an 80 to 1, you'd win $160.
$160.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you think
it was
anybody
very
did
exciting.
put money on that horse?
What's that?
How many people do you think put money on that horse?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure a lot did. Because he was the worst odds, I think. So some of those, you're just
He's
like,
literally
why not?
the underdog.
Oh, yes. He is the most underdog.
Wow.
And he wasn't even scheduled to race until the morning of. There was a late scratch. So there was a horse, for some reason, that got removed from the lineup the day of. And then they had this horse take its place. Normally they have 20 horses run for the Derby, and which I think is the most that they ever run in a race. I don't even think the following races that they have as part of the Triple Crown, which is the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. Preakness Stakes and the Belmont Stakes. Those are the 3 of the Triple Crown races. Usually the next race has like 12 horses, and then the Belmont, which is the last one, I think, is like 6 or 8 horses normally.
Wow.
So like 20 horses is a lot. So they ended up having to scratch the day of, and then he jumped in there. So he was actually like numbered as the 21 horse, which is not common because normally he's only 20. So it was like a late run. If you just watch the last like 30 seconds of it, you could see how he like kind of comes up at the very last minute and wins. So, and the 2 out in front were the 2 favorites that were in the very front leading up to the finish line. And then he just came in there and won, and I was like, oh, wow. So that was pretty exciting.
That is really exciting. I never grew up. I've never been to a horse race, which I kind of want to go.
You should go. We should go sometime. It's pretty fun.
I'd like to.
And it's cheap. Like you can go, and the tickets are tickets to get in the building are like $2 or $5 or something.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Because you're going to spend money on betting. So I mean, you could just
not bet.
But it's a good day.
Oh, but we will
outside.
bet. We will bet.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm a pretty conservative bettor. I don't put a lot of money, but I mean, I'll spend like $100 for the day or something, maybe.
Oh wow, I was thinking 10, but that's fine.
I mean, normally at a minimum you would bet like $2 a race. You'd bet like $2 to win on horse X.
Okay.
And then you hope he wins or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if he does, you get whatever payout was based on his odds.
Yeah.
Or you lose and then you move on to the next race. And the races are normally about 12 to 13 races in a day.
Yeah, wow.
And there's about
Those
I
poor
think about
horses.
40 minutes between races.
Oof.
No, they don't. The same horses don't run all the races.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no horse runs more than once a day. So
Okay.
But it's cool because they like change. Like some races have like 10 horses. Some races have like 6 horses. Sometimes they run on the dirt. Sometimes they run on the turf,
Interesting.
which is the grass, and they run different lengths. Like sometimes they run a really long race, and sometimes they run a really short race. And
Interesting. Ow, ow, ow. I think I need to get those headphones that like go over your ear.
like I've got,
Yeah.
the on-ear headphones are a little bit painful for me.
Yeah. Anyway,
Plus they just get too hot.
there was a dog track in the town
Ooh, Greyhound.
that I grew up in, and it actually went out of business by the time that we would have considered going to a dog race. But I think that everybody kind of knows that dog races are just like bad because they like treat the dogs really, really badly. And so
It just doesn't seem like it's as enjoyable going to those.
The memories I have of the dog track, is that my mom took me out there when I was learning how to drive. And me and my mom had a particularly interesting relationship when I was learning how to drive because she's kind of like, we're both kind of hotheads with each other. So one time,
Especially while you're driving.
especially while you're driving. So we're like on the dog track parking lot, which was the biggest parking lot that we could find, and she fucking
Right.
like, God, what did she do? She either turned off the car or moved the shifter into like neutral or something. I can't remember, and I was so pissed. And she was like, "Well, what are you gonna
While
do?"
you were driving?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, "Well, what are you going to do? What happens if that happens?" And I was like, "It's not going to fucking happen." And guess what, Mom? It's never happened.
Unless you're like playing with the stick shift or something for some reason. Like sometimes
It was
I'll like
not a
click the
stick
little
shift.
button on there.
I wasn't allowed.
Well, not the stick shift, but I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
like click the little button on the shifter.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't allowed to drive a stick shift when I was growing up because my dad was like, "You're too ADHD and you're not going to be able to handle it." And I was like,
I've never driven a stick shift. I don't know how to drive one. I would love to learn.
I know how to drive stick, but I don't think I would drive well. But I learned on a 92 Mustang up the hills of California, and that was hard.
Oh, wow.
So
I
like,
feel like it'd be a fun like challenge.
yeah, my best friend Teresa, who lives out here, she has always driven a stick shift. She still has one. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, stick shifts are going to be a thing of the past here. I would say give it like, I don't know, 15 years or so. I
Dude,
mean,
engines are going to be a thing of the past. Like,
gasoline is going to be a thing of the past for vehicles.
yeah. What was I going to say?
So yeah, the Derby happened. We've had so I never talked about how much I sold, but yeah, it's been on Derby Day the last 5 years or so that I've been selling at this show. So I missed the Derby festivities and parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up in Louisville, which is actually where it's held, it's
That's
just kind of a
thing.
common thing. So
Yeah.
you go to like friends' houses and do the whole Derby party, and you do the little bets in the pools of putting money up and seeing who win, and
That's cool.
yeah. And so I ended up selling about $2,600 at the show, which was good.
Nice.
It's pretty good for a one-day show.
That's pretty damn good for a one-day show.
Yeah, the weather wasn't amazing. It was kind of cool, like probably 50s or something.
Okay.
It was a little windy and stuff, so you know, wasn't sunny, but it wasn't raining. It rained a lot the couple days before, which we were like really fingers crossed, hoping that it was not going to affect the day of the show. But being the day before Mother's Day, consistent show that's always there. Like people know to come back to this show because it's the only like all Potter show that's in Cincinnati, I think.
Yeah.
That's that big. So there was about 50 clay artists there.
Nice.
So whole lot of talent. And I was on the planning committee, so it was quite the lead up to it that week of. So much stuff going on. I'm glad that's in the past. I'm glad it's over.
I bet.
But yeah, I hit a wall after the show. We did the, dinner and then kind of relaxed a little bit, and then we went to Louisville yesterday for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And my mom's birthday is actually today. Wish Deech a happy birthday.
I already
everybody.
did.
You did? Okay.
Oh, but happy birthday, Deej.
I wasn't saying to you, but
Oh, I was like, I already did.
I'm sure you did. But yeah, so we went to Louisville for Mother's Day and did a picnic out in the Bernheim Forest, which was pretty cool. Did you see some of my photos from
Yeah,
there?
there's like trolls and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah, so it's a very big park and pretty scenic and stuff. There's a lot of families out there. It was a great day to be out.
That's cool.
And today was amazing too. So
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like
today was wonderful.
working on the patio from the
Jelly.
couch on the back patio while I was on my computer. So it was pretty great.
Yeah,
And,
everybody went outside for lunch today, and we were like, we don't want to go back in.
Do you all have like a picnic table or something to sit at when you go out?
No, we have a blanket, and we got like a blanket from Target. And what's great is that they accidentally sent us two. So like,
Oh, that's great.
Mackenzie bought one. It has fruits all over it, and it's like a picnic blanket. And then and so they actually sent us two. So we have two that we can like sit out on. And there's like a really nice grassy knoll right behind the studio. So That's nice.
But
Somebody
was
else
there a
mows
shooter
it.
there? Was there a shooter on the grassy knoll, or?
Yes. I did lose my paper plate today because it was so windy, and it flipped my pizza over, and then the paper plate flew away, and we were like, oh, bye.
Goodbye.
We were like, should we race after it? And then Mackenzie goes, you know it's going to go away once you get up. It's just going to fly away. And you're going to be like trying to chase a stupid fucking paper plate.
As you're like bending over, like trying to catch this thing, and then you're like stand up a little bit to move a little bit further. And
Exactly. It's like there's no way. So we didn't even try. Don't come at me. But I was going to say that I did a show this weekend too.
Yeah, well, how was that? What was the show?
It was the Indiana Studio Clay Crawl. So they did it for Mother's Day. And I guess somebody mentioned this, and I was like, oh, I guess it is kind of like that. It's not really like the Michiana Pottery Tour, but it is, you know. So all the prominent studios in Indiana or Indianapolis, like got together and they all did like demos and stuff. And since we're like not organized, I just did demos of the plates that I was supposed to throw on Friday. And
love it. I saw you making those, and I was like, did Becca like intentionally demo these?
No.
I was about to comment and be like, oh, it looks like you got some extra work done, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna make them on Friday, and they're the slab plates. So actually, it ended up being perfect because it's something that most people haven't even seen, throwing a plate from a slab. So yeah, that worked out well. And then I sold a fair amount. I think I sold probably about $900 to $1,000, but then I accidentally lost $100. So we'll say $800.
Accidentally? Does that mean
Maybe
somebody like
$850.
stole a piece or what?
No.
You misplaced a piece? You broke a
No.
piece?
No.
You just lost cash?
Yeah. So I was like packing up my shit, and then Rebecca runs over and she picks up the Space Lemon cup, which was the black cup with the yellow balls and then the yellow dots and then the white outline.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hands me $100, and I was like, don't pay for this. Just take it. Like, it's fine. And she's like, no, take the money. And I was like, here, take your money back. And I like waved it at her, and then I don't know what I did with it. I must have put it in my pocket. And she said that I really manifested this correctly. So I like must have put it in my pocket, and then I put my phone in my pocket, and I must have pulled out my phone, and the $100 bill slipped out. And so I don't think I did it outside. So we think that the $100 bill is somewhere either in my stuff or Graves Co-Pottery.
Oh, is this a little Easter egg hunt for $100 bill?
Yeah, so we don't know for sure. I checked outside last night, like outside the pottery studio. I went there pretty late. There was another car where I was parked, but I don't think I took my phone out while I was walking to my car. So, yeah, so there's a $100 bill somewhere. Somebody may have found it and gotten a little richer. It's fine. It's like not the first time I've lost a bill of money.
Yeah.
It is the most expensive bill that I've lost.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I guess it's just $100. It's just money.
I did that semi recently at Rich and I were at a comedy club waiting in the lobby area, and they gave us the little rip tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
And I put it in the same pocket as my phone, and then I take it out, and then it's time to go in, and we're like searching for these tickets, and I couldn't find them, and it, don't put stuff in the same pocket as your phone.
Yeah.
We found them on the floor, but we were looking
That's
all
good.
around everywhere, though. But
yeah, I mean, like, giving me anything when I am not doing the thing that, like if I was standing near my pottery selling and somebody handed me a $100 bill, it would have gone in the correct place. But when it's, like, random, you know, it's just shove it in my pocket, and then I won't remember the next 10 minutes of what happened. So,
maybe you need to, like, put it in your shirt or something.
I should have put it in my bra. Yeah, I should have. But, such is life. So yeah. So I think that technically I made $1,000, but I went away with $900. So
Okay. Well, that's great. Did that make? Did you plan to be doing this show?
Kinda. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
That's why I was so happy, like, not even upset that I did really, really bad at that show last week.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Or
going to
2
wonder
weeks
if it
ago.
kind of balanced out, you
Yeah,
know?
because I was like, I have the studio clay crawl. I don't have to make anything. This is nice. So
Well, you sold more of your stuff. Did you sell some more fancy stuff versus
did.
the...
yeah,
Nice.
I did. It was funny though because I had the numbers on the bottom. Like this was cup number
stickers?
27. Yeah,
Yeah.
and somebody like set one down, and I was like, that'll be $100. And he was like, oh my god, I thought that it was $27. And I was like, oh yeah, no.
Did you still buy it?
He bought a $50 cup that was
Oh,
very
okay.
similar to it, and I was like, I totally understand. Like, I would have been like, fuck yeah, $27. Yeah. But yeah.
So he got like a mini cup?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but it was good. We found a really good pizza place. That was nice.
Great.
Yeah. I'll have to get some pizza when you're out here the next time. Well, I guess you're kind of used to really good pizza, but
Pizza.
pizza.
Is
Yeah.
it like wood-fired pizza?
No, it was just regular pizza, but it was good. It was like the regular place that we go to didn't open until 4, and then like none of the other pizza places were answering their phones, and we found one in the garage, that place that you guys went to, that cafeteria place. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'll have to try that.
Shall we move on to our questions?
Yes, we should. We're about 20 minutes in. Wow, that flew.
I know. Yeah. Oh,
All right.
wait. I do have one more thing.
All right, what do we got?
I have one more thing. Okay, so me and my coworkers have been trying to figure out what I'm going to do when my hands give out, because they're going to give out sometime, and I won't be able to do pottery. And so this is what they came up with, and I think that you'll enjoy this. They came up with a bagel bar. Where you get bagels, like I don't necessarily make the bagels, but if I did, that'd be really cool. But you have bagels, and then you can put whatever you want on the bagels. So like you can make a sandwich, or you can put peanut butter on it, or you can put avocado or whatever. And yeah, so that's the Beckel's Bagel Bar is that's
Triple B?
the triple B. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll call it the triple B. That's the first option. The second option is a little bit more realistic in the sense that I've already done it. And the second option that I came up with is I should probably just do paint your own pottery again. Like,
Paint your own pot. I mean, hey, you
it's
can load a kiln. You can tell people how to do stuff.
exactly, and it's really a no-fail system. I mean, I don't know anybody that's lost money on paint your pottery if they're in the right location. I don't think
There's some that close up the street for me, but I don't know why they close. I'm guessing they just don't get enough foot traffic and don't market themselves enough to
Yeah.
get people in the door.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I don't know any of them in Indianapolis. There's tons of kids in Indianapolis. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So, those are my two backup plans as of now.
Okay. Hey, I mean, paint your own pottery. You already know the connections of where to get the pots.
Yeah. And I
Unless-
could get Bisqueware from Rebecca, which would be cool.
Oh, yeah, you could.
And I already have the kiln. So,
Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's the backup plan. And I think I'm probably going to stop doing pottery for a little bit on the side. For a little bit. Just because my hands hurt, so.
Okay. You have enough stock for the Backyard Craft Show, right? Here in a few weeks?
Oh, yeah, plenty. And I'll probably do like one more round of shitty cups, but I don't think
Okay.
I'll even need those. And yeah. Oh, I did get offered a job, though. Part-time screen printer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some lady named Rebecca.
You just can't get away from Rebecca's, can you?
Some lady named Rebecca.
It was destined. You have to work for her. You can't not work for Rebecca.
She owns a screen printing company, and they screen print on metal. They do like industrial medical machines and stuff.
On metal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not physically pushing the stuff through the screen. You're just operating a machine that does the screen printing?
No, you do physically push it through the screen, but you do it onto metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does
I
that
was
mean
doing.
you're like gonna take it, or you're just thinking about it, or
I'm just thinking
you're
about it, but
not?
like she was watching me do the demo, and she's like, "Well, if you ever need a part-time job, here's my phone number." I was like, "Great, thanks," but I could do it before work. It might be a
I
fun
feel
thing
like
to
screen
learn.
printing would be fun.
Yeah, it might be fun to learn.
Like there's an apparel company in Lexington that does Shop Local Kentucky's the name. I mean, I wear their stuff all the time, but
Yeah.
I have their shirts and stuff. But they screen print everything, but they have like a big machine.
Yeah.
They like ink it up, but it's it's a big machine that can do up to like 8 shirts at a time, and
Yeah.
it like turns and all that shit. It's pretty sweet.
That's cool. Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
that'd be
now
fun.
we can go on to our questions.
Yes. All right. So first question comes from Linderman Pottery. This is kind of a funny one. I
I'm
need to
ready
catch
for
up on my
this.
episodes, but I really want to know whether you two are Miracle Whip or mayonnaise people. There is a wrong answer.
I'm ready. Ryan?
I'm mayonnaise. I don't even know that I've ever had Miracle Whip, but I also don't really eat mayonnaise. Unless I'm going to a place and they have subs or something and there's mayonnaise on it, like I'll eat that, or like on a burger or something. But I don't intentionally keep mayonnaise at the house. The only thing I use it for at the house is if I'm making tuna out of a can, and I put mayonnaise with
I
it.
didn't realize we were so similar in this regard. I hate mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise and I
Yeah.
hate Miracle Whip. I realize that I say it incorrectly. But
Mayonnaise?
mayonnaise. You say mayonnaise. I say mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, I say mayonnaise. Anyway,
Oh, I gotcha.
yeah. Anyway, no, the only reason I have mayonnaise in my fridge is to make cilantro lime dressing. So I'm more of a hot sauce person.
Oh, okay.
Like butter.
Well, hey, just mix the two, like what I eat with my sandwiches, spicy mayonnaise.
Yeah, spicy mayo is good. The one, what do you
So I
get?
guess I do eat mayonnaise, but that's
I
the
don't think
boar's
that's-
head.
No.
It is
like
spicy mayo.
I know, but it's more of an aioli.
Yeah.
But-
Aioli's the shit.
Yeah, and aioli is mayo, but it's actually just but it's like flavored. I have been broadening my horizons. Like if somebody gave me a sandwich with mayo on it, I would probably eat it. I wouldn't enjoy it, but
You're not gonna be rude and take it off. Like
no, I'd even eat a sandwich with mustard, and I hate mustard.
Oh, hate mustard.
Yeah. Anyway, but
When you go to a shop and you order a sandwich, do you get
Dry.
mayonnaise or dry?
dry butter or ranch, which is mayo, I suppose, but
Ranch is mayo? No,
it's made with mayo.
Is it?
Yeah. Mayo and milk.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Yep.
All right, whatever. I don't have any judgment on here. I don't have anything to
You know
I don't
what's
know the
funny
right
is
word,
that
but-
one of my favorite movies growing up was Undercover Brother. And have you seen it?
Yes, but it's been forever.
Undercover Brother. And and my favorite part of the movie, because I hated mayonnaise so much when I was growing up, was that he had hot sauce in his watch, that when he had to put mayonnaise on the bread because like he was dating this white chick and white people always love mayonnaise, like he could squirt hot sauce on the mayonnaise.
From his watch?
It was in his watch.
Made it spicy mayonnaise.
Spicy mayonnaise. I died. I was like, that's me. I hate mayonnaise. I need hot sauce in my watch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Great movie.
That's great. And the funny thing is Rachel actually got she accidentally got Miracle Whip, but it was Kroger brand, so it was like Creamy Whip or something. She thought it was mayo. She got a bottle, and then we were getting ready for the party, and she was trying to get some mayo. She didn't know that was in there, and she got another bottle, but she got Creamy Whip again. So she got 2 bottles of Miracle Whip generic. And Rachel was like, I'm not going to eat this. So, like, my parents took one of them home. And
Does Rachel eat mayonnaise?
no.
No.
She doesn't like it either. She got it because we were just using it for sandwiches or whatever. We have it on the side for a condiment if people wanted it.
Did you tell people it was Miracle Whip?
No, I mean, you just leave the bottle out, and people can use it if they want.
Oh,
You can tell it's Miracle Whip. I mean, it says Creamy Whip on it.
I know, but you could have put it in a bowl and nobody would have ever known. That's like...
No. What's the point of doing that? You just put the bottle out there. We're not fancy that you just put a bowl of whip out. A bowl? That's like squeezing mustard into a bowl and like saying, all right, here's a knife, spread it yourself. No, just open the fucking bottle and squeeze it on there.
The point is, if you didn't want people to, like, judge you on having Miracle Whip, you could have put it in a bowl and nobody would have known the difference. You know?
No, but it makes for a funny story.
That's true. There was a bartender I had once, and she was like, nobody knows the difference between Bud Light and Coors Light. She's like, nobody does. People ask for Coors Light all the time, and I give them Bud Light. They don't fucking know.
Like on draft or something, you're like...
Yeah. And Gino's, the bar next to where I used to have a store, they had Pepsi products, and in the back they just put a Coke, like, thing, but it was all Pepsi products. Like,
I would fucking know the difference. There's no way I'm going to taste that and be like, that's a Coke. No.
I was like, that's so fucking brilliant. Like, drunk people can't tell the difference. That was like a drunk bar, though. You know, like some bars you go in and you just have like one drink.
Yeah.
This is the bar you go in that you're already drunk from the day, and then you keep on having drinks.
Okay.
Yeah. Where everybody knows your name. That kind of bar.
Okay. Like Cheers?
Yeah,
Good old,
basically. Basically.
Jeez. Okay. And I got a feeling Andrew's wrong answer was Miracle Whip, but...
We could be wrong, though.
I don't know. I mean, my grandpa had Miracle Whip, and he used it since I was a kid. And he still uses it. That's his go-to. He would get, like, the big jugs of it, like a peanut butter size container of it.
What is it called when it's I wonder if Miracle Whip is like just for the Midwest, or like if there's like geographical I
don't know. My mom was saying it's sweeter than mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip. It's Germany. Oh my god, it's a less expensive alternative to mayonnaise. That's interesting.
That's why he grew up
So it's
on
the
it.
margarine
That's why he
of
had
it's
it
the
all
margarine of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So, it premiered at the Century of Progress World Fair in Chicago in 1933. Soon became a success as a condiment. Oh, gross. For fruits, vegetables, and salads. Ew. Who is putting Miracle Whip on fruit? That's gross.
You know what I think is gross with fruit that I just can't see? Like cottage cheese.
Oh, I don't eat cottage cheese, but
It just looks gross. I don't get how people... I don't know. I don't even know that I've tried it. I think I've tried it once, but... The chunkiness of it just...
I would try cottage cheese if somebody handed it to me, but I'm not going to buy it at a grocery store. Because, I don't know if I'm going to like it, and what's the point?
If you're at a party and there's some cottage cheese in a bowl next to some fruit, are you going to, get a little bit?
That's never happened to me, so I don't... I've never been to a party with
cottage cheese.
At the end of its introductory period, Miracle Whip was outselling all mayonnaise brands. According to Kraft archivist Becky, Kraft developed the product in-house using a patented emulsifying machine invented by Charles Chapman.
Ooh.
to create a product that blended mayonnaise and less expensive salad dressing, sometimes called boiled dressing, and salad dressing spread. The machine, dubbed Miracle Whip by Chapman, ensured that the ingredients, including more than 20 spices, were thoroughly blended. Wow. 20 spices. Like, what? Why? Mayonnaise is just oil and eggs and mustard. Like, that's it. Like, ew.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now if you eat Miracle Whip after this, it's by your own doing. You already know. Now you know.
Wow.
Now you know it's the margarine of mayonnaise.
Yeah,
The
there's certain places that have some good mayo though. I always like the Potbelly Subs place mayo. That's pretty good.
Really? I think that
it's like thinner. It's not real gloopy.
I think that I really stopped eating mayo. Like, I hated mayo so much as a kid that, like, whenever I'd make the ranch dressing, if the mayo touched me, I would freak out and, like, wash my hands. Like,
it's not like a lick it off thing. It's like a
ew.
Wash it?
It was that, yeah. So, like, it was like just a textural thing, but also, we stored most of our stuff in the garage, and the mayo in the summer separated, and that really just sealed the deal. That one.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's like there's some condiments or some things that you scoop out with like a knife that when you clean it, you could like lick it off, like peanut butter. I'll like lick off a knife of peanut butter. I'm not going to lick off a knife from like spreading mayo.
I know.
It's got to be with something.
It was so bad that if I did get it on my finger, I would like freak out and have to wash it immediately. Mm-hmm. I'm better now.
Yeah.
I'm better now.
But I love spicy mayo. But that's, like you said, it's more like an aioli or something.
Which is essentially just flavored mayo. But yes, flavored mayo, fine. Totally fine. Don't know why. Yeah. Totally fine, though.
Kind of like flavored whiskey.
Yeah.
Give me some of that. Don't give me regular whiskey. I don't want that.
Exactly. Okay, continuing on to pottery-related items. Now that we're 34 minutes in, hi, Ryan and Becca. Do you know if there is any science or reasoning behind having each coat of glaze dry completely between layers? I understand each layer should be applied when the shine is gone, but to have it dry completely so that it's not even cold takes a very long time. If I'm in a rush, I will use my heat gun between layers to speed up the process, but I'm not sure if this is negatively affecting my results. Love to hear your input. Becca, you are my spirit animal.
Who's that from?
Oh, Heart Serafina Ceramics.
Nice. You got a lot of Becca spirit animal comments out there. This is like the fourth or fifth one that I've seen.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know how you're reluctant to say that at the end, but it's like the fourth or fifth time I've seen that. So there must be something to it.
Well, I'm not an animal.
You know, I mean, look about 3 questions down from this one. The other one starts with 2 things. Do you want to see it?
No,
Number 1, Becca is my spirit animal.
Okay, I just like to make something clear. I'm not an animal.
And I think there's some like negative connotation with saying that phrase nowadays. I don't know exactly what it is, but
well,
there's something you're not supposed to say that, but I don't really know. But
it's fine. I mean, like, I understand why people it's an indigenous saying, like spirit animal is very.
It's like you're saying we're kindred spirits or something. That's basically what it's trying to say.
Yeah, spirit animal.
2 peas in a pod.
Spirit animal is a very sacred saying to the indigenous people. So, yeah. So, you know what? But yeah. Anyway, moving on. So
glazes drying between layers.
Yes. What do you think?
So we didn't do any scientific research beforehand, so I don't know that you're going to get the sciencey stuff that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But we can talk about what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know their stuff if it matters if they paint glaze on versus dipping it, but
Yeah.
do you have experience with painting it on besides dipping it?
Painting it on does dry a lot quicker. So, like, if you're going to paint on, like, stroke and coat or something like that, it definitely dries a lot quicker.
Is that just because of the way it's mixed is actually different and it's meant to dry quicker because
No, it's just because you're slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the amount of time it would take you to get back to that part of the pot again. It looks like she likely dips her pots. Well, I don't know.
I think that is painted.
Painted on? Okay. She's got similar techniques to a few other people that I've seen, so... Actually, I think a lot of those people that have that similar
She's painting.
drippiness is painting.
She's painting with Amico.
Okay.
Glazes. Yeah. So, okay. Good. Okay, good. This is good. Actually, it's really good that we looked at her page because that kind of helps. So, what do you think?
I mean, I think you should... I would definitely not do the heat gun. I would just work in batches. Like, for me, I would go through... I hate painting glaze on, but if I had to, I would work through, like, maybe figure out what the right number is. Maybe 5 of them is a good number. You know, do a whole layer on 5 pots all the way around. And then get back, and then by that time, do your second layer. But like you said, they dry quickly, so...
Well, and I don't actually, you know what? That was me being experienced with stroke and coat. These are different. These are like the brush.
Potter's Choice,
Yeah.
Amico, painting on.
Yeah. So I can't say for that. But, so I think that in my experience, these are lovely, by the way. These are lovely.
Yeah, they're nice.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I dropped my
Throwing
phone.
your phone at me or what?
Yeah. If you want to go find her, it's SERAPHINA Ceramics.
Serafina.
Yeah. So, in my experience, if you don't let it dry all the way, it's like it's almost like they dry unevenly in a way. So, like, if a glaze is too thick, you know how, like, do you ever get glazes with, like, little crackles on it all the way around?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you rub those in or no?
Depends on how significant the crackles are. If
Okay.
if I rub it on it and it's going to flake off and fall off the pot, I'm not going to touch it. But regardless, it's probably going to end up looking like shit. So
You just sounded like your dad so much right then.
but if it's subtle, I will like rub it in a little bit.
Okay, so in my experience, when a glaze is too thick, it'll do that. But also, if you overlay a glaze, like if you put another glaze on top of a glaze and it's not dry enough, it'll crackle like that. And that's when they start kind of like popping off the pots. And especially, like, I've experienced like that. And then when you put them in a kiln, if they're too wet, that's when you get a lot of crawling. In my pots, at least. So I always put a preheat on my glaze firings if I'm doing any glazes that could have any crawling. I always do a preheat for at least an hour, just so that
the crawling, for anybody that's not as familiar with what that looks like, what is a simple explanation of what that looks like?
Yeah, crawling is basically when there's like a bunch of glaze and then there's a bare spot, like a bare clay spot. And
or it looks like kind of watered over, like it's like super thin glaze, but it's not like...
Crawling basically is like, think of a glaze like drip crawling down a pot. That's what it kind of looks like. So, but yeah, I would say, yes, you want to wait until it dries. But if you're, I don't think you have to wait, like, I don't know how to answer this question because, like, you know, if you are in a rush, I've used a heat gun. I put it on a heater. I've put them on a heater before. I put them in the oven. Like I've put pots in the oven and stuff, but
one good thing is you can, with the mention of the oven, the hot stuff, like if you're firing a kiln, maybe you plan it where you're firing a bisque kiln the day of or something, and you just happen to put the pots on top of the bisque kiln, either while it's firing or while it's cooling down or something. Yeah. It's going to speed up your drying pretty quick. So just as you paint it, you can just sit it on top of the kiln.
Lindy showed us that hack too. You know what? You should consider this is because remember she showed us that hack of doing a cup warmer, like a teacup warmer,
or a candle warmer.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called, a candle warmer. And so she'd turn it on and she can put her pots on that and it'll dry them a little bit faster. So maybe if you if you are consistently having an issue with them not drying fast enough, maybe like paint it, put it on the candle warmer, and then paint the next one, put that one in, like, you know, do kind of like a line. That might work. But yeah, you do, like, I had the best results when I glazed one day the first layer and then glazed the next day the second. Yeah. Second layer. So, like, you could also implement that where you're just doing, and I know that those brush glazes, you know, you have to have like 3 coats and shit like that. But
yeah, that gets kind of aggravating.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe like I mentioned at the very beginning of this, more pots, like glazing more pots, even if you're like switching brushes or something, like make sure you have enough brushes so you're not like one brush for all the glazes, and do all your base coats like one layer of all of one glaze on 5 pots and then all of another glaze on 5 pots, so you have all of them, and then you just go back to the first one and do, you know, just kind of assembly line it a little bit.
Also, I think that if there's no crackly cracks, you know, it's fine. Like, do a test. Keep it going. Do a test on one of them and see if you can do like one right after it gets unshiny, you know. I think if I was painting, I probably wouldn't care about it completely drying, to be honest.
I'm sure it depends on how thick you're loading your brush up too, right? Yeah.
Man, I want to, if somebody knows where to get those fucking like floppy brushes that they use to like the fan brushes, but they're like floppy fans that they use to like layer on the Amico glazes, like, could you please tell me, because those look so fucking satisfying. You know,
I have a fan brush, but it's like real thin though.
Yeah, exactly. These are like floppy fans. They're like thick floppy fans. And I want one. So anyway, if you know where to get those, please let me know. But yeah, I wouldn't worry. I would do some tests and see how quickly you can like redo the glazing. Because if it's not crackling up, I don't think you should have an issue with it. And just make sure
don't like do it the most like precautious way possible and feel like you have to do it that way. Like Becca's saying, if you can like make 4 or 5 small cups, they're like little, I don't know, 2-ounce cups or 4-ounce cups or something, and just try like very dramatic glaze applications and jot down what each one you did and just see what the results are.
Yeah, that might be worth.
Because I'm sure she has to load those up, the ones that have the long drips on them.
Yeah,
she probably has to, you know, glaze those pretty thick.
Yeah, to get the drip. And I also wonder, is there like more glaze like right above the drip, or like, you know, or
maybe you just put an extra color, or like,
because I don't do glazes like that. An
extra 4 layers or something. 5
usually
layers.
They're like painted in like a waving fashion, so I imagine at the bottom of the wave, that's where they drip. You know. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I have to do that with certain glazes still. I dip my glazes, but we've had some issues. And that's something, you know, my assistant's having to learn as well with certain glazes. You can dip in the glaze. How long do you hold it? And then just, it's kind of an eye test. Like, you get an eye for what looks dry enough and what doesn't look dry enough. And if you're going to ruin it, it's not worth rushing through and getting something complete. For me, at least, like, I'd rather just wait another day and say, okay, I didn't get these glazed because they didn't look right. they weren't dry enough. So
I kind of think, what's funny is that I kind of think of like glazing pots kind of like a budget. It's like kind of like my monthly budget is how I want to approach glazing and like everything in my studio. And we kind of talked about this 2 episodes ago, I think, in like studio time, like efficiency and stuff.
yeah.
But like I should have said this then, but I'm just thinking about it now. Like right now I've been trying to work up to have over $1,000 in my account so that I can transfer it over to another account so that by the time that clears, it's the first of the month. And I've been like working up to that, right? So like I think of glazing kind of like a budget system where you're like, hey, if I glazed 10 cups today and then like just one coat, 10 cups today, left them to dry, and then like threw 10 cups today and then trimmed 10 cups today and then did the second coat of glazing tomorrow, then you would never have to worry about the drying times. You would just, that would just be your process, and you wouldn't have to like,
you would just consistently do it little by little instead of waiting till the very end.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people like leave their glazing till the end, but if you took like a month to just like work on being like in a consistent rhythm, I think that it would behoove you more. And I understand. I mean, I'm totally a glaze all at once type of person, but it might be less frustrating as far as like the drawing in your. I don't think your results are bad, by the way, but it might improve your results, just because you are kind of like methodically thinking about it little by little.
Mm-hmm. And you could probably spend 30 minutes glaze. You could just. There's no like ramp up time. You could just, as long as the pot's there and it's bisqued, you could just spend 30 minutes glazing 5 pots or whatever.
Yeah.
And then be done with it after 30 minutes, and you don't have to like wrap anything up. You just have to clean the brush out, but it's time that you can usually fit in around other things.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, consider that also when you're doing it. But I do think that you should push yourself a little bit more. And don't worry as much about the rules. You know them, so now's the time to break them. So
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, test is a good option.
Yeah.
Do it like overly, like break the rules a lot and see what happens.
And maybe do it in bowls instead of shot glasses, like you said.
There you go. Or use kiln cookies or something like that.
Yeah. I like to do all my tests in bowls because then they won't drip onto a shelf. The inside of bowls. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, cool, great. That was good. Go team.
I feel like we always sometimes get questions about glazing, and I don't have a lot of places to point them when we've talked about glazing. Maybe a couple episodes, but
I know. It's because we just don't like glazing.
It's one of those things. I feel like glazing is so like I feel like it's so basic in my studio that I just dip glazes, but there's got to be like habits that I've formed that aren't necessarily natural to everybody that just comes into it and just doesn't know, but it's so specific to my glazes that like it might not work for somebody else.
Yeah, I know. When I started working at Graves Co., I did a few days of glazing, maybe 2, and then I was like, I'm not doing this again. And they measure the specific gravity of each glaze. Like, it's very, everything
methodical.
Has to be perfect because they've had issues with their glazes and their customers were particularly picky and stuff like that. So like, and I'm just like, I can't fucking do this. Like, I've always just been like, okay, can you see the red on the mixer? Great. Like,
like, did you mix it up enough that you don't see water on top?
Or like, cause my mixer was red. So it was like, mix, do you see the blade? Like, is it see-through enough to see the blade? It's too thin. Okay, great. Like, but, yeah, some people are super methodical and super, like, they have a lot of things.
Plus, in a studio like that, you're the end of the line. You're the last person that touches that before it goes in the kiln.
It's
so
all you, boo.
If something happens, like, you could really fuck something up with a glaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my assistant's been like, oh, I hate that some of those didn't turn out. But it's like, hey, it's part of the process. Like, you got to fuck some stuff up
You
sometimes
do.
to figure
Yeah.
out how to fix it. But
Ugh.
then you learn for the next time. But
Yeah.
you've learned to not want to do glazing at the studio with her studio because it's just too specific.
No, it's not
so.
because of that. I just hate glazing and it hurts my back. And like it hurts my
Okay.
foot. You know, like I can't
Yeah.
my ankle just can't do that. So it's
Yeah. I think I need to at some point reconfigure that part of the studio. I still like your idea of the whole shelf system thing, the lower shelving for my glazes because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't have a lot of room in there. Because I got 5-gallon buckets everywhere. But
Well, one weekend I could come up and we could just do it.
there we go.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That would actually make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more glaze question.
Yes.
It says, I'm finding glaze combos I like, but if I ever wanted to make a batch of like 50 cups, brushing that shit would be an outlandish amount of work. Can you clone recipes of bottle name brand glazes for dipping? That's from Blacktooth Pottery.
Oh, yes.
I dread those people that have to paint on 50 cups.
We admire you and your work. That if you
Wow.
have to paint, you're stronger than us. I was gonna look up glazy.org and see if there was like copycat recipes. I would imagine that there must be copycat recipes.
Yeah, or close enough recipes, you know?
Right, like even right here it says investigating Amico's Dalmatian speckling agent. Like, I would say your first step should be going to glazy.org. Yes, there's definitely ways to make copycat recipes. But also, like, don't be afraid to just find new recipes too. You know, like John Britt's book is great for that. And like you could find recipes that are very similar to what you're already using for sure.
Yeah.
So
you
you
just
could
have
dip
to
them.
be okay with it not being exactly the same, especially
Right.
when you start layering them and all that.
Yeah. But also I think there's Glaze Facebook groups, aren't there? Is there a Glazy Facebook group?
There's Glaze Facebook groups.
And that might be a good place to like look to see if anybody like if there is one that you're specifically like really fond of, maybe like being like, "Hey, I really really love this one." Oh, that's nice. Wow. I haven't been on Glaze in a while. Anyway, like, hey, I'm really fond of like this glaze. Like, does anybody have any ideas of, you know, something similar or whatever? So,
I mean, some of the companies do have dry mixes of 25 pounds or 10 pounds. Like, I get my Kentucky Mudworks glazes, you know, the satin black and the Inferno red that I use. Those I buy in 10-pound bags of dry mix. And you mix them just like you would if you made the recipe from raw materials yourself. You just add water, mix it up, put it through a sieve twice, and it's dippable. So some companies, depending on where you're buying your glazes, I'm not sure what the glazes you're using, and we could look right now actually and just see if we see Blacktooth Pottery and see what kind of glazes you use.
can I say something that I just found just like randomly that I thought was really
Sure.
interesting? So this is a recipe on glazy.org. It's called Haggy. It's number 7444. Which is really pretty. And it's like a twice straw ash glaze, I guess. Two parts of straw ash and 1 part wood ash. And it says, attention, this glaze jellifies and never stops absorbing water. Applying it can be a nightmare. Adding alcohol solves the problem. 10 10 to 90, like 10%, 10 to 20% water plus 90 to 80% alcohol. Isn't that interesting?
Oh my gosh. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like something that wants to be a solid and you're like making it be a liquid or something just to get it onto a pot like you would normally need to apply it.
That's insane. Like, wow.
Yeah. So it looks like Blacktooth uses some Western glazes and some Amico glazes. Amico does have a number of 25-pound bags that you can buy, but they just had a product update announcement that they did. So if you should go to their Instagram account. So depending on when you hear this, they actually just had an update of some products. They're going to discontinue some dipping glazes.
Yeah.
They will no longer sell some of the 25-pound dry mixes. So if there's some that you're looking for and you want to make them dippable,
Yeah.
I would say get them right now because I think they're stopping production in June or something like that.
Right. And Andy, that one that is that one that's like your second to last picture, I have a glaze almost very similar to that.
What's the date on it? Because you don't know when he's going to hear this.
The date is February 14th. Well, it's the second to last one, so it's like or second to first, I guess. His second post ever is like a bluish green. I have a glaze that's very similar to that you can have if you want. Isaac's going to fucking kill me when he hears this podcast. Isaac, they're not yours. They're mine. You haven't even used them, you asshole. The last time I said, I feel like my relationship with Isaac is like Cardboard Tim's relationship with Brett Kern. Like, it's very like, I think it's Brett Kern and Cardboard Tim.
I don't think it's Brett Kern.
It's not
I
Brett
think you're
Kern?
thinking of somebody else. You're thinking of Paul Ide.
No, I'm not.
Paul Ide and
No, I'm not.
and Cardboard Tim. Are you talking about the ones where they were like breaking each other's shit?
No, I'm talking about the ones where they were making the margaritas out of cardboard.
Okay, that might have been Brett Kern.
I'm pretty sure that was Brett Kern.
But Paul Ide was the one that they would trade pots and then they would like break them in funny ways.
That was so funny. Anyway, that's how I feel like our relationship is because we love each other like no other. And also, I love giving him shit so much. And he also loves giving me shit. And when I shared my white recipe on Instagram, he was like, "You traitor." He was like, "That's my white." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's the internet's white." I was like, "Isaac, 4 of my friends use that white."
It's a white glaze. It's not like you gave him your signature glaze.
Isaac, I love you. Yeah. Anyway, he finally released his kitten video. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Kittens.
So cute.
That Amico Brent post I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to their page, it's from April 20th. Hey, my birthday. It's labeled product update. So look for that. If you're an Amico Brent glaze owner, you should look at that anyways because there's changes they're doing to some of their glaze lines and some underglazes and stuff they're getting rid of to help with their supply issues. So everybody should listen to that part or look at that.
For sure.
To see if you're affected. And hey, it might be a good chance to work on trying to make your own glazes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I found the video of him making a cardboard cup and pouring a margarita in it. It's classic. Anyway, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's from August 1st of 2018. Tim sent him a cup that was actually
gosh.
Yeah, it was actually a martini glass, and it was supposed to be a margarita cup, but it was like so shallow, and he was like, I can't even fit one ice cube in here. And then Brett made his own margarita glass out of cardboard
Mm-hmm.
and poured a margarita in it. It's so funny. Anyway, yes, I think that, yes, you can make clone recipes. But like you said, Amico does have a lot of bottled recipes. And if you want to see what they look like before you use them, you can always just go to John the Potter. He's one of their reps.
He uses Mako.
Never mind. If you want to use Mako and like any of his glazes, he says which ones they are, and he's one of their reps.
There actually is a Amico Glaze forum on Facebook that is 60,000 members strong. Amico Cone 5-6 Glaze forum. There's a lot of different combos on there. So if you're an Amico person and you don't know about this, which you probably already do, and there's a lot of combos on there. Because people are always like, oh, I use these glazes. What do they look like? There's also a Kentucky Mudworks group of their glazes too. So
Yeah.
But yeah, look at some options. I mean, I get the 10-pound bags of Mudworks. I look out for whenever they have sales. If you like any of their glazes, definitely sign up for their mailing list because they have sales like 6 times a year or 8 times a year or something.
Yeah.
They have them all the time. That's when I stock up on my glazes. So I always have at least 20 pounds of their each color that I have.
And remember, there's no shame in buying glazes. We have to put that in every time.
Yeah, you
There's
don't have to mix your own glazes.
zero shame in buying glazes. It is just a little bit cheaper to make your own. But buying them comes with a satisfactory guarantee. So, yeah.
You should still test regardless.
Yeah, you should still test, but
How it's going to fit with your clay body, because that's also a factor that every single glaze company can't account for.
correct. Yeah, for sure.
So,
Um,
yeah. What about the, what else was I going to say?
hello, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely something different in the glazes that make them brushable versus dippable.
CMC solution.
Yeah.
CMC gum solution.
Have you ever seen? I've seen some people take like the bottle of brushable glaze and like pour it.
I do that.
Like I think I've seen Dante do that, and I don't know how. It seems like you would probably use more glaze than you should.
No, not necessarily.
No?
So, like, with stroke and coats, I pour in the glaze, and then I'll brush it all around, and then I'll brush the excess out into a bowl. Like, I put it into a small crumble that I have that has a little spout, and then pour it in, swish it all around, and then pour it out again. And
Back into the container.
yeah,
everything?
that way I don't have to do more than 2 coats, because you're supposed to do 3 coats, but I always do 2. I could probably get away with 1, though. Honestly.
So you brush it on. You have a brush that's thick enough to like
Yeah.
spread it really quickly, and
Yeah.
then just wipe off the excess quick.
Yeah, I like brush it out, basically. Like there's
Okay.
always a little extra in the bottom, and I turn it over and like brush it into a cup so that I'm not wasting. So yeah, yeah, that's definitely an option.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to make some slabs and do some actual like paintings. That would be really fun. I should do that. I'm gonna do that.
That's what Amruta came over and did some of that
Yeah.
a couple years ago. She
Yeah.
she did some tests on some slabs because we were playing around with either her doing some on some of my cups or pots or something, and then I wanted her to see, because she's used to 2-dimensional, so like painting
Right.
under glazes, she needed to figure out what the underglaze consistency was, how to paint them. You obviously know how that process works, and then like,
Yeah.
does glaze look good on top of it, not glaze on top of it? And then we played around with the newsprint version where you paint the foreground, and then as you put layers, you're painting the background, and then did a transfer onto slab. You should try that. Do you like that kind of process?
Yeah, it might be fun. It might be fun to like bring some of my glazes home and just paint. Like instead of going into the studio and painting, like I used to have all my like glazes in my studio and then paint, or in my home and then I would paint, you know.
What if you did? Could you do that process on newsprint and then cut out a shape of the gradient that you did on a newsprint or something? Or maybe you just do a big gradient and then you just cut shapes out of it and then you attach that onto a pot and peel it off?
Does that work on bisque really well? I know it works on
I don't know if that would work on bisque.
I also don't like the idea of it being like not perfect, but I do like that idea at the same time. It's like,
But you would cut it out though, right?
yeah, you would cut it out, but you would also like, you're not getting
The lines would be clean.
Yeah, but the lines would be clean, but it wouldn't be like, you know, like when I see those transfers, there's always like little bits that aren't there. It's like almost weathered.
Maybe. It depends on how big of a section you're working on, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe I should do some slabs. That might be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
At least test it out, you know?
I have something exciting.
You have something exciting?
Yeah, I just went onto our podcast and was looking at the reviews, and we have one from Wednesday.
What?
Yeah. How exciting is that?
Okay.
A new one. I'm going to read it.
I've been waiting for the day that we get more reviews. Wow. That is nice. I'm guessing it's a U.S. review because otherwise you probably wouldn't be able to see it.
I don't know if it's... I feel like that...
It's a U.S. review.
It's a U.S. review, but also I felt like I didn't
Oh,
see
there's another one. Oh, no, that's from 2021. I was going to say there's another one from Canada, but that was 2021.
Yeah.
March of 20,
is it bad
May
that I
20.
don't follow our podcast? Like, is it bad that I'm not like a listener?
Jeez. I mean, probably, but would we expect anything less from you, Becca?
I don't know. I have to search it every time I look on my phone. Anyway, okay. I'm going to read the review. Okay, it says enjoy.
Why don't you just follow it? Why don't you just follow it and turn off automatic downloads
I guess I could do
so
that.
it saves your space on your phone?
But
There you go.
what does it matter if I follow it? Oh my god, we have
it adds one more number on the
we have
scoreboard.
like a 1-star review. I wish they would have left a review. Anyway,
There's more than one.
There's more than
There's
one.
more than one star.
Wow, we're disappointing that many people? Probably because of what we're doing right now.
Is it we or is it you or is
It's
it me?
probably
I don't
me.
know.
It's fine.
Hey, it's only in the U.S. I don't see any. I'm looking at the Canadian Apple Podcast list. I don't see any 1 stars there. Canadians like us, apparently.
There's 89
We've only got
ratings.
7 ratings, though. And then we got 4 ratings in Great Britain.
Wow.
It looks like 3 of them were 5-star and 1 of them was a 4-star. So
Okay. I'm reading the review. It says, it's funny because recently on an episode, I heard them mention they received a review that said something along the lines of, I didn't love it at first, but it grew on me. And I totally agree. At first, I was looking for pottery podcasts to expand knowledge of the craft, and the specific pottery content seemed to be the minority of the time per episode, and the rest was just banter. Well, now I love the banter. It is a great thing humanizing makers and getting to know people and how their personality lifestyle translates into their work. Oh, that's nice. We do banter.
it's nice.
We do banter. Yeah, I mean,
more than half of this episode was banter, so.
that's true. I did tell somebody this weekend, I was like, give us like 4 episodes. Don't judge us on the first one, you know.
Yeah. Do you tell people? I don't know how people download it. I don't know if they normally download the very first episode we record or if people download the most recent.
I don't know, because when I do podcasts, I always listen to the first. You know.
The very first?
Yeah.
Really?
Or like very close.
It depends
to the
on what
first.
it is.
I like to grow with the podcast. I don't like to grow against it.
But you're really like in it though. Like a podcast that's been around this many episodes for ours, that's not episodic, it's just random.
True.
I feel like I would pick and choose based on the topic, personally.
See, kind of, but also like we get better, and also you like learn about their lives, you know, like especially ours, we like talk about our life, and like
Oh, that's true.
there's like a progression, right? And also I like to hear the beginnings of podcasts to see how terrible they are, because ours was terrible, and then like moving up, you know, to like a better
Yeah.
like format and stuff. And you feel like you know the people that are doing the podcast. Like I'm listening to that, you know, we talked about it like a couple weeks ago or last week. I'm listening to that
The cult one?
the cult podcast, and
I listened to like 6 of those episodes this weekend, and it got under my skin a little bit at the beginning, and then I just couldn't step away, and I just kept listening to a few more, and I'm like, they're still under my skin a little bit, but
I wish they were longer. I feel like it's just
kind
like
of here for the entertainment.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like so surface level shit. You know, it's like a 30-minute podcast, and it was like, come on, you could be asking more interesting questions like if it was like an hour, you know? But and so I feel like we give that time. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, you just like learn and listen and live with the people. You just, you know. And plus, if you're going to listen to podcasts in your studio while you're working, like just imagine how many podcasts you can get through in a week if you're in your studio for like 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fuck ton. So like you could start at the beginning and just move on up.
Yeah.
And be caught
I mean,
up.
maybe with something like that's been around so long and it's already like in an area that I'm familiar with that I enjoy, maybe I would listen to the first to see like what their intentions are, because usually they kind of go into like what they're doing this for, and then I'd probably pick one based on the topic and see like, okay, this is something I care about, let's see what their take is on this thing.
But I also
and then I might go back and be like, all right, I like it enough, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
I also understand like the whole concept of like, I know there's some people that just skip the first part of our podcast completely. They're like, okay, 25 minutes in, we'll start there. Like they already know us and they don't need to hear about our lives, and they want to.
Do you think they do though?
No, I know they do, because they've told me. Like some people tell me. I'm not going to tell you who it is, here, but
I mean, I know who it is, but
you don't know who it is.
I know one.
Okay, fine. What letter does it start with?
A J?
No. Okay, yes, Josh only listens to part. He doesn't listen to the beginning. Yeah, but that's because he like really knows us. But I'm saying like there's other people that don't listen. But like I could totally understand if you had any interest in pottery, like, or you knew about pottery, like picking and choosing topics for sure. Like if I was I wouldn't. First of all, I probably
you would never listen to our podcast.
I would never.
We know this about you, Becca.
I know, but that's why I can relate. I would never. And I don't listen to, and don't get me wrong,
You don't listen to any other pottery podcast
I don't listen to any other pottery podcast either. So it's across the board. I do not discriminate. But yes. Oh.
Oh man. I love it.
You
know what? I have seen a couple more new ones though. I actually discovered a brand new one. I haven't listened to it, but it was another pottery one, I think.
Wasn't there like a company that was releasing like 6 podcasts or something? The Ceramics Network or something?
The Brickyard Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Tales of the Red Clay Ramblers technically under that umbrella.
Oh, really? I mean, that's a long-lasting podcast.
Yeah. I almost wonder if they, like, bought them or something, or, like, exclusive deal or something, you know. Because, I mean, that's what For Flux's Sake is under. Yeah. That's what Trade Secret is under, Clay and Color. There's a new one called The Shot Callers. The Kiln Sitters.
That's clever.
Yeah. I think these are a lot. It must be part of like, I don't know. I want to say like podcast network, but probably not. It's probably like a education collective or something. And then
Yeah.
it's kind of like an academic focused, I think, but
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. But yeah, there's a few newer ones that are just like independent artists that are talking with people.
Yeah.
That I started. One of them I started listening to, which is actually probably a listener to this podcast that was pretty funny. It was called Baddie Bitches.
Baddie bitches. Oh, I think I heard of that. That's Oh, I know. Who
She
that
paints
is.
bats. I think it's Bats Ceramics.
Yeah, it's Bad Ceramics. Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah.
She's funny. Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
Baddie Bitches.
Baddie bitches. That's clever. I still think I might be biased, but I think that we have the best name for a podcast. Wheel Talk.
Yes.
When
I agree.
When I tell people,
People always laugh whenever I tell people.
When I tell people our name, they're like, "That's fucking clever," and I'm like, "I know, we're fucking clever." Oh, I had a dream the other night that I won $97 million in the lottery, but it was like shared with somebody else, and I only asked for 10. And then I did the math today, and if I had $10 million and retired at the age of 32, like if I had 1 year of investments in that, I would make $433,000 a year just off of residual.
If you had 1 year of investments,
So if I had an 8% return on $10 million for 1 year and then retired, I could make, just because that's the way I did it.
maybe don't choose this year, but I don't know.
Oh my God, I know. I was looking at my stocks and I was like, holy shit, I've lost like $1,000 in the last month. And, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I'm like, I should start buying. I need to actually transfer a bunch to buy.
Or should you wait until it goes down significantly and then buy?
VTSAX has gone down $15 in the last and that's an index fund that only goes up like $5 a year. Anyway.
There you go. You got some spare dollars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, but I would be able to live off of $433,000 a year. I think that's plenty.
For somebody that can literally live on like $12,000 when you don't even, when you didn't even like.
That was $20,000. Thank you very much. I do not want to put myself in a $12,000. That makes me seem like a superhero, which I am not.
I thought it was because the business paid for part of it so that you actually only lived on $12,000 or something.
I think it was 20. No,
Okay.
It was $28,000 and my rent was $1,200. Or my
Okay.
mortgage was, I don't know. No, it was 20,000. I don't know. It was something small. But
Whew.
yeah.
So I officially started my new role today.
You did? That's
Well,
exciting.
not like role, but I've been kind of straddling the two roles lately anyways. But officially, like in our HR system, I officially started under my new manager and stuff.
That's good.
Got my pay increase and all that good stuff.
Yeah, hurrah.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. It's been nice. There's already been a shift of like how I spend my time during the workday, and it's different, but it's more enjoyable.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Like last week, we kind of talked about it, but last week I went in to work at 4 p.m. No, at 6 p.m. every day and worked till 10. And wow, it was nice. It was nice. Like working by myself, so nobody was like distracting me at all. And just like being there alone.
Did you still get the same amount of throughput in 4 hours that you would in 8 hours?
Well, I always work for 4 hours, but I don't work 8
Oh,
hours.
like actual working time.
Yeah, but I would like one of the days only work for 2.5 hours. Like I got everything I needed to be done in 2.5.
Is your body in a better state to be working between 6 and 10 versus the other time of day?
I don't think my body is, but my mind is for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was nice.
Because you're not as well rested. Like it seems like you'd be more well rested on those days, right?
No, it was mostly that I just didn't have anybody around me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I meant your body as in physically, like that you've done a whole day, whatever, until 6 o'clock.
Oh, I was sleeping until 6 o'clock, so no.
Oh.
It kind of fucked my whole sleeping schedule, but it's fine. It was
Okay.
Yeah, I would like get up at 10 and like eat some food and then go back to sleep until like 4. It was great.
Okay.
But I was getting off of being in COVID, so I was still really tired.
Yeah.
So.
I'm guessing you're all good now.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks out since.
Yeah. Like
since then, so.
I was able to do the show and everything. Did you see I got an air plant? I named him Eric.
I did. I thought somebody else gave it to you and named it Eric.
No, I named him Eric, but I did get it from Nick.
Nice.
Yeah. I also got another plant and named her Ruby. She's the rubber plant.
Nice.
And for those wondering, Eric is spelled Airick. Eric.
Ick. Eric.
Eric. My pet goldfish, Eric. Yes.
We just got a bunch of airplanes for the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I sold quite a few.
Nice.
It was pretty nice. People like that. If it was a little warmer, people would have liked it a little more. But hey, I was happy with it.
When's the
Yeah, we
Is
need
it
to
the
talk
11th?
about that. We need to mention it to people if they want to come see us. June 11th. If you want to come see beautiful Louisville, Kentucky,
and
at my parents' residence,
Deidre
in Louisville,
Durbin's
Kentucky.
wonderfully manicured back lawn.
You can't forget Carlos Durbin.
Oh yes,
He's-
and Carlos.
He's important here.
He is because he mows the lawn shirtless, as I found out.
Yes, he does. He will not be shirtless at the event.
He won't, but he may. You never know. Carl's he's a wild hair. If you haven't gathered that Carl, Ryan's dad, who we call Carlos, is completely different than Ryan. Like 155% different. So, yes.
Because I won't go shirtless in the yard.
You won't even go shirt. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, come on. But he's just different than you. He's so like, I don't know why he's so different. Anyway, Backyard Craft Show is
Saturday,
Saturday.
June 11th.
June
from
11th.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. And
in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
There's an event on Facebook.
Yes.
That would be our main form of advertising. If you are within range, you can come see us. Maybe 2-hour drive. I don't know.
Will there
Maybe
be
you're
free
Lexington.
snow cones again this year?
Not free, but I mean, snow cones will be there.
They gave us free snow cones last year.
He gave you free ones?
Yeah, the first like 20 were free.
Oh, really?
So I went
Okay.
and got a snow
I don't know
cone.
that I got a free one, but
You were late.
I think Rachel got one for me. I don't know. We'll have snow cones there. We'll have tunes with Trent there. This guy was playing all kinds of instruments. He was a character. I liked him.
He was a character. I liked him. Yeah. We should sell hot dogs. Maybe I should take red vines like I did when I was in like high school and sell red vine for 25 cents. Ooh, or we could no, that is conflict of interest with the snow cones. Never mind.
Popsicles.
I was thinking it might be fun to sell Otter Pops.
You know, Deech is just going to be out there giving out popsicles like left and right.
I know. Oh, don't worry about paying. It's fine.
She's going to be giving out some ice cream sandwiches and shit.
Deech makes some solid ice cream sandwiches. And I'm going to have a real tent this year instead of just being a table
Wait,
under
you
the
didn't even
tree.
you didn't even put your stuff under a tent last year. You just had the tables.
You didn't let me. I remember I brought my
I
two
think we
tents
used
for
both of your
other
tents, right?
people. Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't even get a tent last year. I didn't even have the option.
Well, Trent, musician guy's going to have his own tent this year, so you can have...
Nice. Well, and Rachel's not going to do a tent, so...
Yeah, she's going to have a few things with her dad's booth.
Yeah.
So we're going to have... Her dad has... Kevin has some vintage house decor stuff.
Yep.
We're going to have painting there. We're going to have a leather person there.
Oh, yay.
We're going to have... Let me go over to the thing. Some mixed media stuff.
Okay. And is Kylie coming again?
Kylie is coming. That's another potter.
So
we also
3
have
potters.
Homebody Ceramics.
Oh, so
that is
4
a newer
potters.
potter.
Okay.
4 potters. That's a newer potter that was in Louisville. It was asking me some questions. I think she came last year, and I was like, "Hey, I see you sell some pottery. Do you want to try it out?"
Oh, yeah, this is a great show to just try out. It's not guaranteed that you sell anything, but, like, you know, it's still fun.
We have Matt again. He does the woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
He does, like, wood decor stuff. We've got
Chevron.
jewelry. Jewelry and, yeah. I think that's it. There's also a photographer going to be there that is, I think she's going to sell prints and stuff. That's Rachel's cousin.
Okay.
She's like a professional
Is D Harp's Design going to be there?
Yep. That's the mixed media one I mentioned.
Oh, okay. Didn't know. Well, that's a resident
Darty.
stuff. Darty, yeah. Fun. That'll be fun. Me and Emeruta last year, we're just 2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
Matash came too. They always come the day before and they stay. So
yeah,
that was a good time.
Yeah. And I'll probably come the day before as well. And yeah. Maybe I'll make some little canvases and give Emeruta a run for her money. You know.
Little competition.
Yeah. So anyway, yep. That should be fun.
Yes.
Well, this has been an off-brand podcast.
Hey, if you didn't ask me, normally you'd be like, "Do you want to just do a shoot the shit episode?" And I'm like, "Whoa.
Whoa.
You're not listening to this episode. We need to do something for the people here. We can't just shoot the shit for an hour and a half."
It's true.
Even though we shot the shit for about 45 minutes of this, but
yeah, maybe like an hour. At the beginning and the end. If you want.
Okay, maybe an hour.
If you want to give us a 1-star review, just like message us personally. Just don't put it on Apple Podcast, okay?
I mean, wouldn't you want to read a 1-star review though? I
would want to read a 1-star review. I'm not gonna lie, but
for everybody to see, like,
I don't know that a 1-star review would make it this far.
They would get this far in the episode,
yeah,
to hear us mention that we want to hear it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that one.
Imagine if somebody just stumbled upon us and listened to this episode first.
Fuck, that would suck. I'm so sorry. Go back and listen 4 more episodes ago. Yeah.
Listen to one of our Q&A episodes or something where we have a lot of valuable information.
Yeah, exactly.
Art show Q&A. I feel like I tell people that one all the time. 86 and 87. Hey, what's this art show? How do you find art shows? How do you set up your tent? How much do you take? 86 and 87. 86 and 87.
And we should have a little teaser too next week. Next week we have a really fun guest that's going to be on.
Yes.
We won't tell you who it is. But
it is an MVL of ours.
But she has a cat who also catches treats.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
She has multiple cats. Only one catches treats, though.
Just like you.
I don't have 3 cats, but
that's true. Anyway, she's gonna be on, and we're very excited. Hooray!
Yes.
Do we have anything else to say?
I don't think so.
Here's
our outro. Our outro. Somebody mentioned about our outro. They thought it was a gimmick. They thought we just made that shit up.
Oh, no. That was straight up me sitting in a bed in a hotel room. Like, I was so excited to say, like, what we had, and then I completely forgot.
Yeah.
And we
That
were
was on our trip.
Yeah.
So you hear me shouting in the background. That was not scripted.
That was
that
not
was
scripted.
One off. We're not re-recording this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that has been our outro since, I don't know when. Probably 100 episodes ago.
And if there's
Probably
if
80
nothing
episodes
else,
ago. I don't know.
if nothing else, it describes our relationship perfectly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Anyway, bye.
Thanks everybody for listening. Bye.
Yo, yo, yiggity yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have. What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!